Hello and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today I'm going to be going over the characters and ships to a lesser extent, well not really lesser extent, the characters and ships I would like to see coming in next year 2024 for Galaxy of Heroes, And then start off, kind of obvious here, Shin Hati. I feel like we will see Shin coming eventually sometime next year, maybe. I don't see why we wouldn't be getting Shin and then our master Baylan Skoll as well. Having the two of them getting added as unaligned force users would be pretty nifty. I don't know if they would fit into an existing team like Seer per se, or if they would be doing something else with like leftover Inquisitors or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I also imagine she would be like an attacker or support and he would be a tank, I would imagine, just because, like an attacking tank maybe, like Gas or Reva maybe? I don't know how that makes much of a sense of any sort, because, he wasn't really the fastest or most mobile, but he did have that raw brute strength, kind of, if he was willing to unharness it and let it flow through the course of the battle. And then obviously Shin, like I said, an attacker or support, because she really wasn't, I mean, she held her own in the small fight she had with Ahsoka, but it wasn't like the big bang for your buck kind of thing going on there. Up next, as y'all might know, I am a big fan of Legends content. Oh, you can actually see its face. So we've got the Death Troopers, like the OG Death Troopers from the book, where what virus? There was a virus that the Empire was fabricating and got loose on a Death Star, killed the entire crew, killed everyone, and then started snatching in ships with the tractor beams and all that. But yeah, whenever I was looking for the next trooper lineup kind of thing, the next trooper, this came up under it. But yeah, the OG Death Troopers would be cool to have because they are very zombie-like, and they are somewhat akin to the Night Troopers, which we'll get to in a second, but these were more very zombie-esque. They were terrifying. They learned quickly how to use weaponry in ships after they got killed, and then, they revived them, like reanimate themselves. But the story of the book's pretty okay if you want to read it. I want to spoil it, but yeah, they learn how to utilize machinery pretty quickly, so that would be cool to have as like an actual proper zombie trooper kind of thing. And then, like I said, the Night Troopers in the Ahsoka show, they were nifty, but they did seem to be more punching bags for Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine more than anything. They looked intimidating with, their, the armor being literally melded together from other pieces of trooper armor, and you got the red threads and all that from the Night Sisters, the like cloth and all that. So I don't know if they would be as intimidating as like Death Troopers like it would be, but like the Night Troopers would be cool to have as well. Just because why not? I was excited to see them whenever they were revealed in the show, and I would really like to see them in the game. And of course, to round out the Ahsoka stuff for now is Captain Enoch. I don't know if Enoch is fully dead or not, or what his deal is, but the fact that he has a gold faceplate compared to the other troopers, like Night Troopers of Thrawn's command, makes me wonder if he's truly dead and just been reanimated in the suit, per se. But it's a very interesting character because Enoch is from biblical, it's a straight up biblical reference. I don't remember what the story was for Enoch, but you can look up Enoch and it'll go through like a whole thing of like what he did in the biblical stories and all that. So his naming was very intentional, and he'd probably be like a Captain Stark or a Colonel Stark, or like a General Veers kind of thing, like kind of character for the Imperial Troopers. So who knows? It'd be nifty to have. Up next, the Incinerator Trooper. With the advent of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, we are rapidly starting to break apart a lot of teams. And I know a lot of people will say, but Gideon, the new Gideon, goes to Maul and the Mando team in 5s, and then his team's only really good in territory war kind of thing. But then, if you're doing that territory war team, what are you going to run with Iden? Because most of his team consists of Iden characters. So, give I don't know if you're going to give Dark Trooper Moff Gideon or like the OG Moff Gideon the Incinerator Trooper, or just give the Incinerator Trooper to the Imperial Trooper lineup as a whole, because I mean they were around since the advent of the Empire, because they used to be the Incinerator clone troopers kind of thing. And I mean, they just walk around flamethrowers and burn everything. So it'd be our own little hodgepodge R2 Drogon thing for the Empire. So I don't know. It's like Scout Trooper. Why don't we have him? We've had him. He's been showcased in the original Mandalorian season for how many years now, and we just don't have him. So up next, Purge Troopers. There's two different variations that Disney has created. We have obviously the one from the Kenobi show, which I find very mediocre at best. I mean, it looks like just a stormtrooper in black armor with a red pauldron on his shoulder, and that's about it. I'd prefer if we had this one from the Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order series, those games, because this actually looks distinctive. You know, he's got a completely different helmet makeup. I mean, yes, he still has the red pauldron, but like the armor, it just looks a lot better, because this looks like something from like the First Order or something like that. This looks Imperial, because you got the really red tinted visor, you've got like a uniform look. I know this one is live action, this one's the game, but like this one looks more ready-made for Galaxy of Heroes as opposed to the one from Kenobi. Would I be opposed to either one of them coming, like either design? Not particularly, no, but just one or the other would make my day, because yeah, why not? And then there's like all the different variations. They could make the abilities different, like variations of the Purge Troopers from the games, like the Electro Staff, or like the dual wielding ones or whatever, you know what I mean. But like, yeah, it's just one of the Purge Trooper designs would be great. I'm not picky on which one, but preferably the one from the video games. And what probably going to be one of the only light side units in this entire list, Luthen. Luthen, I don't know what role he would fill. Maybe he'd actually be able to do like take Saw Gerrera and a whole bunch of like ragtag rebel fighters and actually make them a formidable force of some kind. But Luthen would be really cool to have, just because why not? He's one of the masterminds of the Rebel Alliance from the looks of it, the way they set it up in Andor, and he knows how the war will have to go. He's not gonna hold punches. He knows how, in what way they're gonna have to make the Empire like play to get the rebellion really rolling and getting people on their side, because he knows he's not gonna live through this. He knows his sacrifice will help create a freer galaxy, but like, it's just, he's a very iconic character from Andor, and I don't see why we shouldn't have him in the game. And kind of taking a tangent off of Luthen, we're going to start going into the ships with his Fondor Haulcraft. Good lord, whenever that thing was went up against the what cruiser, I can't remember what cruiser it was that went up against an Andor, but it decimated that cruiser's tractor beam and then made mincemeat of the TIE Fighters. I mean, TIE Fighters are notorious for being rather weak, but the fact that a Fondor Haulcraft, which is basically just, you know, a cargo ship that's been heavily modified with that droid modification in the cockpit, when it made mincemeat of that Imperial patrol, is amazing. And you know, you got the lasers that shoot out the side, you got the flechettes that shoot out the backside to destroy whatever. You've got the amount of weaponry that can be packed into this is amazing. I don't know what Rebel fleet it would end up being in the Profundity one, or the Adrad one, or completely Adrad, or the Admiral Akbar lineup. I'm getting fleets mixed up now, but yeah, I don't know which one, or it would be a whole new one, but it would be extremely cool to have. Up next, we're gonna go with Saw Gerrera's U-Wing. Saw's U-Wing we've seen a couple times. We've seen it in Rebels, we've seen it in now Andor as well. And the fact that we do have Saw Gerrera himself in the game, might as well give him his U-Wing and throw a couple other people from his faction in there and call it good. I mean, it'd be another U-Wing that can get added to Akbar's fleet, or even maybe Radiss's fleet. It just depends on which way you want to go with it. It would bolster the Rebels, because they desperately need something to make them a little bit more punchier. Well, maybe not Profundity's fleet, like the Profundity fleet, but maybe the Akbar fleet, because it is very lackluster at this point. But like that and the Fondor Haulcraft would be great to have for the Rebels, but I guess time will tell. Not that we really need another Imperial Starfighter, but we've got the Outland TIE Fighter. The reason why is because Moff Gideon flew it before he got the Beskar armor. He flew it in season 1 and it got crashed promptly at the end of like what the next episode or whatever. But it's unique in the fact that the wings on the TIE Fighter fold down like an X-wing, and you got the landing mechanisms inside the ship that retract into the cockpit or inside the actual main part of it. And it's just the Empire took a lot of inspiration from the X-wing designs and implemented it into the TIE Fighters as they were reeling and losing ground and all that. But I don't know if it would be like an Imperial Remnant fleet thing, or if you could even make that a humanly possible thing, because we haven't seen really a Imperial, unless they do like Grand Admiral Thrawn with his Chimera being busted up and crap like that. Bring that and make that an Imperial Remnant fleet with the Outland TIE Fighter. I don't know, but it was just a ship I really like the design of, because they made the TIE Fighter a little bit more distinctive than its normal design, and it's just something I would like to see. Up next, we're gonna go through a couple of Separatist ships. So we've got the Droid Tri-Fighter. It's very iconic from the Clone Wars and Episode 3 at the beginning of the movie, where you have the, like swarms of these just flying in and around all of the Republic capital ships and the Separatist capital ships as well, and just decimating clones and Jedi alike with no care. They're really unique because the droid brain inside of them is able to control this entire thing. It's not controlled by one of the capital ships or anything. It's a tiny droid brain that controls this entire ship and all the weaponry and all that, and it is a very potent ship on the battlefield. I don't know if it would go to Grievous's Malevolence fleet, or if it'd be a new Separatist fleet with like Admiral Trench, or maybe like Count Dooku or someone like that. I don't know, but it probably wouldn't hurt just to get it added as a whole, because why not? The Separatist fleet, I should say, isn't the best thing around right now. I mean, it's still annoying to deal with, especially if you start killing off those Vulture droids, and then Grievous takes a turn and takes off all your protection and starts killing everyone with Buzz droids. But it's just a nifty designed ship, and yeah. Still with the Separatists, we've got Count Dooku's Geonosian ship. I mean, he doesn't technically fly it, his little droid minion does, but if we're going to be splitting the Separatist fleet up, we might as well add his ship with these Geonosian ones. So that way him and Asajj Ventress, which is another ship, I don't remember what this ship's called, but she uses it, or just one of the like Geonosian designed ships, like Starfighters, for her usages. And having them, I mean, they're both in the game. You might as well get their ships added. There's no point in not having them added, other than the fact that you'd have to go through the process of designing the ship and then this kit and yada yada yada. But I mean, why not add Dooku and Asajj's ships? I don't know if it doesn't have to necessarily be this one. This one's kind of unique because of the fact that the wings right here fold back in on the main body of the ship, and it's just like kind of like a foil thing. I don't know what the purpose of it is. I haven't really like looked into it in depth, but it would be very nifty to have those added. And then, yeah, okay. To wrap it all up for the ships, we've got the Ravager. Why we didn't get the Ravager instead of the Leviathan is still beyond me. I'm really not upset with the fact that we got the Leviathan, but I would have preferred a Ravager, just because why not? It's literally like a half-defunct, it's a Centurion-class battle cruiser. So it's basically like a way older predecessor to the Star Destroyer designs, but like, I think actually that's what they took inspiration from and just made it really old and made it a Centurion-class battlecruiser. But anyways, like CG years ago, there was leaks that this was supposed to be like the next Sith, like big capital ship, but it never came out, and I was kind of disappointed, but it is what it is. There's not really much you can do about it. But yeah, why not? I mean, I don't know how else they would stretch the Sith fleet. They'd have to have more ships, obviously, but I don't think we'll be getting any like big like dark side capital ships for a while. At least they may do a light side one next, to be completely honest, but I guess time will tell. Up next, it's kind of hard to really tell who this is, but this is Darth Cognus. She was the technically third Darth Baneite Sith, if you want to go with that, because you have Darth Bane, Darth Zannah, and then Darth Cognus. Darth Cognus was going to be the replacement apprentice for Darth Zannah if Darth Zannah was going to strike down Bane to continue on the rule of 2, yada yada yada. But Cognus was an Asajj assassin that actually fought Bane in what was it, book 2 or 3 of his trilogy, and she managed to neutralize him by, you know, the way of poisoning him and immobilizing him, yada yada yada. And then she became his impromptu apprentice, and then him and Zannah fought at the end of the 3rd book, and then she became Zannah's apprentice. But the only reason why Cognus is one of the ones I would really like to see, just because we're getting Darth Bane starting well, later today whenever this video goes up, and well, the Conquest at least, and having the 3rd Baneite Sith would be cool to have. And keeping in the thread of Baneite Sith, Darth Zannah, the first apprentice of Darth Bane, as I just mentioned, you know, she was proficient, very proficient in dual-bladed lightsaber combat. She was very defensive, heavy mindset Sith, but she was also really good at using Sith sorcery and magic to manipulate her opponents' minds and all that. She literally had people go mentally insane because she used Sith magic to get into their brains, and she conjured up their worst nightmares and made them think that they were real, and then she just left them to rot as they went clinically insane, kind of thing. And if we're gonna do the rule of 2 shtick, you might as well make her, you might as well add her. Why not? Because there's no point in, like, because, okay, the reason why I'm saying this is because whenever I saw the rule of 2 icon on Darth Bane, and every time I say his name for the Darth Bane in the game right now, it's going to be with air quotes. So whenever, let me just pull it up over here. Whenever I saw this, I immediately thought of Darth Bane right here and Darth Zannah, because Bane in the Legends is a 7-foot plus tall monstrosity of a human being, and that would make sense for him towering over her in the sense of, like, he's a tall dude, of course he's gonna be big, kind of thing, you know? Actually, let me zoom in. And, like, why would you, like, why not? Like, it makes sense for that to be Bane, and then that be Darth Zannah, because Darth Zannah is, I don't remember how tall she was supposed to be said in the book series, in the book trilogy, but she would obviously be shorter than Bane, so that's the reason why, you know, I think Darth Zannah getting out of it would make sense. Have her have a tie-in to the rule of 2 unique. I don't know if they will or not with the way they made Darth Bane's kit, but yeah. And probably to absolutely no one's surprise, it should not be a question on who I really would like to see get added as a domain, a proper Darth Bane. And I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but the Darth Bane we are getting later, I'm gonna start getting the shards for later today, is not the true Darth Bane. It is the Clone Wars, like, ghost, Sith ghost kind of thing on that Yoda encountered on Korriban, or was it Moraban? I think it was Moraban. Or no, it was Korriban. Whichever planet he went to. I can't remember, honestly, at the top of my head, but that was like his Force ghost. I would like to see a proper Darth Bane from the Legends. And I know a lot of people are like, but this is what canon Darth Bane is. It's supposed to be the ghost one. Nah. CG has shown the propensity of pulling stuff from Legends. You know, verbatim. Disney has done as well. Why not? Why would you not just do that for Darth Bane? Not the Darth Bane we're getting, but why not just do that and make him actually Darth Bane? It doesn't have to be. It could be either him pre-Orbalisk armor or post-Orbalisk armor, or even with the Orbalisk armor, because the Orbalisk armor, like, it's literally crustaceans that are encrusting him, and what they do is they inject poison into his body, which fuels the dark side energy within him, and they draw their, like, sustenance off of that dark side energy that he's, like, using. So it's just like a constant loop between him and the crustaceans, the Orbalisk, and it would be cool. It'd be great to see him, like, properly done from Legends, none of this BS from Clone Wars, like, showcase kind of thing. I want a proper Darth Bane CG. Make it happen. And on that note, I hope y'all enjoyed the ramblings of a madman again. Let me know if you think any of these characters are going to be added, or who you would like to see added to the game next year. And in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later on. I hope you have a good rest of your day.